Good morning. We are live. It is 5 a.m. Central Standard Time, actually 5:02. And today we're talking about habits. We were talking about goals yesterday, how you need tactics. And then there's a section where most of us tend to struggle with on implementing the tactics because of maybe some recurring habits that are getting in the way of what it is we are really trying to do. What would be a couple habits? So, to kind of go with the basis of the show, we always try on the show to take the examples created and then try and figure out how this relates to ourselves. So if it sounds like I'm talking from a personal context, it's because my experience is pretty much limited to what I have tried, what I have not tried, all the books and stuff I read. But it's really hard in anything until you've taken action on it, until you've chipped away at it, until you've seen results for yourself. It's hard to place judgment or to really understand what is working and what is not working, per se. So with that being said, what are two habits and some surprises that are kind of going on with my life that I'm going to share with you guys today? And then also, how can we set ourselves up for success to help improve our own habits? Whether you're watching this video later on in the afternoon and you need to remotivate yourself, get an idea or an exercise down for as a self-employed individual to get back on the ship and back rolling, or you need to just get up earlier and take advantage and journal out these ideas that we're going over today to see if they'd be beneficial for you. Habit number one. This is a very common habit, but when you're watching a TV show before bed. So watching a TV show before bed is really common. Having Netflix subscriptions, Hulu subscriptions. Oh, just get the Disney Plus bundle. It's $5.99. It's $5. It's fine. Just get it. So Jim Rohn, one of my favorite motivational speakers, he had this example where he's talking about a TV. And he said the TV cost. He was asking the person, how much does that TV cost? And said, well, it's the best TV on the market. It costs $499. It's a $500 TV. Granted, to preface, Jim Rohn has passed away. He's been dead for a while, and TVs back then, huge, bulky. You can imagine. You can see the photo. Imagine the photos, giant TVs, this and that. Anyway, irrelevant. $500 for this TV. He's like, oh, the TV cost me $500. He's like, no, the TV doesn't cost you $500. The true cost with these types of expenses aren't the money. Forget about the money that you're paying up front for the $500 TV. The real cost is your ass sitting in front of the TV and taking up your time doing that. And I'm not saying there's not a time and a place to sit down and watch TV. Like, oh, Tanner, yeah, you're a neo-Nazi on television and this and that. However, I will argue it's killing your attention span and it's bringing a lot more negative emotion into your life than positive one. I'm willing to bet. But regardless, having the TV in place, what it can be costing you. So last night, I still own a television. I haven't completely cut it out of my life, just really trying to limit it and trying not to watch it at least 1 to 2 hours before you go to bed. Like, you should not be looking at screens before you go to bed. To think that within the last like 30, 40 years of technology that our brains have evolved so fast to where it's not hurting us to stare at screens and then try and pass out is madness. That makes no sense. And people tend to be really tired when they get up in the morning, when they're absorbing screen time, when they're watching television right before bed. It's not exactly a great way to gradually try and get into relaxation and go to sleep. So last night there's a show called Yellowstone. If any fans, it's some ranching show in portion of the park for being in Montana. To my understanding, I think the property is actually down in Texas. But anyway, regardless, watching the show before bed, and now I've gotten up because I watched it up until, and I stayed up a little past my bedtime. I watched the show. So yes, I even do this. And what is the consequence? Today, as you can kind of see, I look a little more tired. I feel a little more tired. I stood there and stared at the mirror for 10 minutes before I got on here, and I was like, holy shit. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be talking about today. I'm really tired. I don't want to do any of this. So when you do feel like this in the morning, first off, know that you're not alone. This happens to pretty much all of my self-employed clients who are self-employed entrepreneurs who need kind of a pick-me-up in the morning. And that's why we've switched over to morning sessions only, because they've been so helpful. Because that morning period, our judgment and our ability to make decisions is dog shit. Flat out, straight up. So if we can get in front of the mirror and be feeling more energized and refreshed, I would ask, what do you need to say no to be able to be in that state of mind? Do you need to say no to watching a movie directly before you shut your eyes? Or maybe it's something I bring up all the time because I really want people to do it, but maybe you need to set your phone outside of the room before you go to bed, maybe during the evenings, and just get the hell away from it and stop staring at it. So it's not making us so tired in the morning. And it all comes down to how to fix this, how to help with this. We can sit here and say, oh, just, willpower. Just don't watch it. Oh, just put the phone down. Just don't do that. Say with the TV or with the phone. Yeah, just don't do that. I said it before and say it again. Willpower is total trash, and relying on it will result in failure. Chances are, unless you're just 1 out of 1,000 David Goggins type dude who just can will his way to whatever. Even then, I'd argue that his environment, what we're getting into, he actually does himself quite a bit. But stop relying off willpower, so you don't have to say no to something 1,000 damn times a week in order to fall short or to fail yourself. Maybe you could just move the TV out of the room. What's more important? Watching TV, reading those books on that business idea you wanted to start, feeling fresher in the morning. Are you a teacher? Do you need to show up for the students in a certain way? Is that how you want to show up? Or do you want to show up tired? How do you want to show up? And making sure that the habits we have match that. So with a habit, instead of using willpower to, okay, I'll just not watch it, then taking on the concept of remove and replace. This is what I have found to be the most effective by a landslide when it comes to the habits that I think are crucial in order for me to execute at a high level. So watching TV 2 hours before bed, watching Yellowstone, these people ride around on ranches, doing stuff that will never change or do anything for my life ever, ever, ever. And when I watch that, I'm tired for this show, which the show is pretty much the driver of my marketing now and what I'm trying to use as a platform to help inspire and change people in a productive way, specifically self-employed people, keep making better decisions to improve their lives. So I need to say no to watching television right before bed. I need to say no to scrolling on my phone for an hour before I go to bed. So I can say yes to this, to getting up at 4 a.m, doing some exercises, getting on the live show, promoting my business, trying to give it free helpful stuff to help other people empower themselves so they can go empower others. So what sounds better? So removing the show and replacing it with my own show that's creating fulfillment for myself. So if you truly do want to change a habit, then you need to remove it and change the environment. Remember, willpower is trash. Willpower is trash. This stand in front of the mirror, scream yes 1,000 times, and then go out there and the TV's still sitting right there. Short-term satisfaction versus long-term gratification. It's the short-term is just so powerful with humans. Like the stuff we have nowadays, it feels on a sensory basis in our brains, it feels so good to just open the phone, send off a message, turn on the TV, see cool guys walking away from explosions. Just Karen coming back and murdering the husband of the man who raped her. Just insane, crazy television, just soaking into my brain before I try to go rest. One of the most crucial times of the day, if not the. I mean, you've seen what happens to people when they don't get good sleep. They probably sound crazy like me on the live show. With TV, watching it before bed, I'd ask you, is there anything that you can do to replace that habit? Maybe you're eating before bed. Is there anything you can do to replace that habit that would make you feel in more alignment with what it is you really want to be doing? Maybe your dream is to become a yoga instructor. So stretching before bed, highly recommend, by the way. Stretching before bed and learning poses or writing down a simple activity or journaling. What went well today? What didn't go well today? What can I do different tomorrow so I just don't repeat and waste my youth on a bunch of stuff that doesn't actually matter to me? So if you replaced the TV show with writing your own book, let me ask you, when you're about to go, and like the ghosts we were talking about yesterday, when they're all around you talking about the things you could have done or the things that you have done, well, they say, Tanner, that was a really good show. That was a really good show on Peacock over there with Yellowstone. You know, that was really cool versus actually going to damn Yellowstone, right, and writing a book about my life and talking about different experiences and how we got there. What do you think would make you feel better? Probably the latter. However, short-term gratification, the things being present in our environment, man, if you got to get rid of this TV, then get rid of the TV. Because remember what Jim was saying. The TV doesn't cost $499. Opportunity cost is very real. And there's a reason why it continues to be studied in many schools today. Because missing out is truly missing out. So say this moment right here. We'll let a second pass. Now we're reflecting back on that moment I was just at a second ago. That is gone. That is literally gone. Poof. Like that. Ask yourself, does it feel like time's flying by? Because it feels like it's flying by for me. So we don't have a whole lot of time to waste around watching TV shows, to be mindlessly scrolling on social media. However, If you can jump on here, get in and get out, of course, I would say that about my personal content. But, if you need to just not be on here to help improve your life, then get off. Then don't watch this. But if you want exercises on this and that to help improve yourself as a self-employed individual who I help coach get their morning started right on the right foot, if you were struggling with that, having a plan in place, getting up at a certain time, please go to talktotanner.com and we can sign you up for a free coaching session and see if a partnership would be helpful. We have the habits. We know that we must remove and replace them with something different. So we remove the TV shows for the live social media shows for our business. Remove it and replace. So I'll leave you with this question this morning. What do you need to say no to and able to help you improve your life for the better? What do you need to say no to? No is a very, very powerful word used in the right spaces with the right questions. I imagine nowadays with having technology and so many things readily available, we can really do whatever we want. Anybody can write a book. Absolutely anybody. Anybody can start a business now. Absolutely anybody. Anybody can watch a TV show. Anybody can mindlessly scroll on their phone. But some will choose to go the route of writing books and creating businesses and getting healthy, losing 10 pounds. And other people will choose to gain 10 pounds, to watch more television. And it is up to you. It is your responsibility for you to choose which way you go. It's easy both ways when the environment is right. So mess around with your environment. Make sure that it's putting you in the right direction. And we have enough self-awareness and clarity that willpower is trash and that we need to replace it with something, because just letting go and not having anything in place, humans just tend to crave filling the space, filling the void with something. Like we're like a vacuum cleaner, and we can be sucking in rubies. I think books are literal diamonds. These are people who've already done what you want to do, and they just slapped it into a book that you can take in and learn and improve your life. Or also a vacuum, a void of just television. It's news on Russia and Ukraine when I literally can't do. I'm not going to do anything about it. Like, I'm not going to join the U.S. military. I'm not going to get in high-end politics. So it's like, it literally is just crushing my soul and making it harder for me to be a good person for other people. So you're a vacuum. What are you sucking up? Are you taking in all the good stuff? Are you taking in all the bad stuff? And are you surprised that you're tired in the morning when you go to work? Ask yourself, are you surprised that I feel this way? Like, some people wake up, they're just a zombie. Kind of like what I was this morning. I screw up too. But you got to be honest about it and try and fix it, right? Standing up in front of the mirror this morning, just, oh man. Yeah, I could really go back to bed today. And are you surprised that that's how you feel? It's like, no, I'm not surprised. I watched 2 hours of a TV show right before I went to bed, and I went to bed late. Of course, I'm going to be tired. But it's just insane that sometimes we just forget that that's how that works. Is overstimulation is bad, and there's no need to do it right before bed. Try and replace it with some healthy habits, stretching, reading, writing of any kind, and see if that's what you want to do. Do you want to feel better? Do you want to be just entertained? Do you want to waste your time? Do you want to take advantage of it and look back and be like, damn, I'm pretty happy about that. Ultimately, the choice is yours. If you get any value out of this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Share any bad habits that you're struggling with. And what do you need to say no to this week to push yourself forward? Thank you guys so much. I will be back here Friday morning, tomorrow, 5 a.m. Central Standard Time, to help motivate, to help inspire, to help change the habits, the actions, create energy and focus for self-employed individuals and take them to the next level. If you are more interested in what I have to do, what I have to say, please go check out talktotaryn.com. We have a 12-week course program that I take people through, guaranteed to help change and improve your life in the area of being able to focus on what matters, to have the energy to be able to do that, and an anti-regret plan so you reduce your regrets, you take more actions, and help improve your life. Thanks so much. Thanks again. It's always an honor, always a pleasure to find something that you're passionate about, that you can help other people, and also grow myself financially and work on a business I actually give a shit about. So cheers to that. Happy Thursday. Let's go rock it. Let's go crush it. We're up. We're already dappered out. We might as well keep the ship rolling. I got to get to work, and so do you guys. Till next time.